starting 2025 onward, to be a lead trainer in the 200-hour training, you need the E-RYT 500 designation. So this is the Yoga Alliance website. So the E-RYT 500 has taken either a 200 plus a 300-hour training, or you can take a 500-hour training. Some schools offer a 500-hour training. And you need to teach for 2,000 hours to get this designation. And 1,500 hours must be taught after completing your first certificate. So whether it's the 200 or 500, and then the remaining 500 hours of experience, your experience teaching, must be taught after completing the 300 hours. This was my situation. I had the E-RYT 200, and I finally, and I think I had like 10,000 hours of teaching experience. It felt like, I don't know if it was that much, but well over 2,000. But after I got the additional qualification to bump me up to the RYS 500, I had to wait until I taught 500 more hours. So that's something to think about if you're considering what to do next. Like, getting that 300-hour is important to get it as soon as possible, because then you can start accruing those 500 hours.
Yeah.
And then there's another pathway though, and I'm not sure if you've heard of this. It's called the Experienced Teacher Pathway. And this is fairly new through Yoga Alliance. So the Experienced Teacher Pathway is only for the E-RYT 500 designation. And that pathway has quite a lot of more qualifications, page 14 of one of their guidebooks. But you need to have taught for 10 years in total after your first 200-hour training. And then 5 years of teaching experience after your 300 additional hours of training. So sometimes people have taken like numerous courses that add up to a lot, and then instead of 2,000 hours of teaching experience, you need 3,000. So they've kind of opened this doorway for people, but it's a narrower doorway to fit through.
Can I just highlight that becomes applicable for people whose original teacher trainings weren't necessarily with Yoga Alliance registered schools, because we are finding that some people have taken their yoga teacher training many, many years ago, some of them almost, at the same time that Yoga Alliance was being created. And so they have all of this very valid teaching experience, but from schools that weren't accredited with Yoga Alliance because Yoga Alliance was so new. So for some people who have lots of experience, just not from Yoga Alliance schools, this is their way of saying, okay, we can't qualify you as an E-RYT 500 because we can't prove, what you've learned, because we haven't approved these schools. So they dig a little deeper into the experience that you do have to see if it aligns with their values and if you can still get that designation to be a lead trainer, even though they don't really know what your schools had taught you, essentially.